All right, everybody, get your notebook paper ready. You are going to copy this down and you're going to watch this video as many times as it takes in order to understand this. There are 5 different types of one-step equations. Let's get these down. First step is always going to be to find the variable and ask yourself what's happening to it. So anytime you find the variable and you have a positive value next to it, the opposite of a positive 2 would be a minus 2. So I'm going to minus 2 from both sides. I'm going to erase that line. So I'm subtracting 2 from both sides, and x would equal 2. So to undo addition, we're going to subtract. Go to the next problem. I'm going to highlight my variable. I'm drawing my line down the equal sign. I see that it's being paired with a negative 3. To undo a negative 3, I'm going to add 3, and x equals 10. So to undo subtract, I'm going to add. Circle your variable and see what's on the same side of it and undo it. Next problem, I have x on the top. This line means divide. X is being divided by 5. To undo divide by 5, I'm going to multiply by 5. 5 over 5 is 1, so I'm left with just 1x. And 10 times 5 is 50. So to undo division, we're going to multiply. This next problem, we have 3x equals 9. 3 times x. Put a little dot in there if you need to. This means multiply. So to undo multiply, we're going to divide, and x equals 3. So to undo multiplication, we're going to divide. All right, now let me just show you how this also could look. This x plus 2, the commutative property, it could have looked like this. 2 plus x equals 4. So now if I highlight my variable, guess what? That's still a positive 2. I would subtract it. So it's really not any different than the problem on the top. Same one here. If I have x minus 3, it could have said negative 3 plus x equals 7. When I highlight x, oops, that went away, it still has a negative 3. So to undo that negative 3, I would add 3. Only thing that could be different on the other ones is if it was a negative. Let's say that this was a negative 3x, I would divide by a negative 3. So you need to be careful with that. On the bottom, I have a fraction. And anytime we're going to multiply by a fraction, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. So if I multiply by the reciprocal on that side, I have to multiply by the reciprocal on this side. 3 over 2 times 2 over 3 is going to give you 6 over 6, or 1x. So x is going to equal 12 times 3 over 2. 1/2 of 12 is 6, and then 6 times 3 is 18. I need 3 groups of that. So x would equal 18, or you could use a calculator. All right, get your paper still ready a little bit more. I'm going to give you some problems. You're going to identify what you should do. So let's say you had x over 5 equals 11. What should you do to both sides? The answer should be multiply by 5. Let's say I had x plus 12 equals 10. What should I do to both sides? Here's my x. It's being paired with plus 12, so I have to minus 12, and x would be negative 2. Let's say I had 2/5 times x equals 10. Okay, what do you think you need to do to both sides? Times by 5 over 2, the reciprocal. X equals, half of 10 is 5, and 5 groups of 5 would be 25. Let's say I had negative 3 plus, I'll use a different variable, p equals 10. Okay, pause. What do you think you have to do to both sides? Highlighting the p. Oh, it's being paired with negative 3, so I'm going to have to add 3. P equals 13. Let's see, I'm missing just one kind. Oh, here it is. If I have negative 6x equals 36. This means times. What do I have to do? Divide. Divide by -6, and x would equal -6. It's really important that when you're doing these, you're writing division like this. You're writing your multiply on both sides. You're drawing that line and writing on both sides. Keep practicing. You need to get these 1 steps down in order to get 2 steps. All right, rewatch this as many times as you need to in order to understand these 5 types of problems.